Don't you love my orchid plant, Lori?
Ew, it doesn't even look real.
I know. That's why I love it.
Oh,
It matches your shirt.
It does. It does match my shirt. And I put this on this morning thinking, oh, I'll change before the webinar. And I didn't have time.
Rolling one into another.
I ran out of time. And so I thought, well, it's okay.
It's super cute.
What happens is what's important is what's coming out of my mouth, not what's on my body, right?
There you go. Agree.
Lots of people. Some of you guys are little clickers I'm seeing. Keep in mind, some of this might be redundant because we took this content and we did a 2-part series with our Flower Click members. So if you guys start hearing repetition and want to get off of this, no hard feelings. It's fine. However, you might learn something new.
Because Lori never says the same thing.
Never say the same thing twice. Because I'm a winging it. It's all up here.
You don't wing it. You're just drawing from your depth of knowledge.
Yes. And I think I was telling you the past week and then just yesterday and today, I've had so many conversations with new flower shops that new to me, right? Because we're running the promotion. And so I've learned a whole bunch of new stuff that I'm excited to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
It's interesting because there are so many similarities, but there's differences as well. You know, the stories have a lot in common.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what we're covering a little bit today.
We are. And it honestly, and a lot of the members that are here know this about me. It is one of my favorite parts about my job. Even though the conversations are never short and, you know, and it's like, it's a little bit stressful because I can't get my normal day-to-day things done because I have all these back-to-back meetings. My favorite thing to do is to meet with a new shop and say, what's your story? Tell me about yourself. And I mean, I take this and I have all my notes and I just start writing every little words that they say. And it fascinates me. Everybody's just a little bit different on how they do business and how they run their shop. It's definitely not like a franchise where one size fits all, you know, where like every Chick-fil-A is pretty much the same thing. This industry, it's not that way.
Well, I think what you just shared with me before we came on was kind of hits the nail about how you are with people. And they just said they felt you were talking to them because you're so authentic. You are yes. Just so caring. And that's who you are, Lori.
That's my day. Yeah, no, that was every once in a while I'll get one of those conversations that I'm like, oh, just nourished my heart because, you know, I want to be helpful and I don't want them to, anyway. Yes, that was good. So let's see, we're already recording. We've got quite a few people here. I'm impressed that there are so many people here considering all of the out of office emails we've been receiving with this campaign, you know, and have you been getting those too?
I have quite a few. It's like, I'm out of the office until the 9th. I'm out of the office till the 11th. And I'm like, that is really great because we're kind of talking about that self-care we're going to kind of hit on today. And people are taking time for themselves before the busy season kicks up again. So that's really great.
Yeah. So speaking of busy, we do want to try to keep it to 30 minutes, which I don't think we've ever achieved, but we're going to keep trying.
We keep trying.
So let's go ahead. And if we have some late coming stragglers, that's fine. They can listen to the recording.
Okay. Well, we called this Work Smarter, Not Harder, but we know that that's a lot easier said than done, you know, and I just want to talk about that at the beginning, because sometimes we get caught up in the day-to-day and we don't stop to take the time to ask ourselves just a few questions. Like, if we could make just this change or that change, could it make us work smarter instead of harder? But I'd have to say too, as a business owner, former business owner, and talking to so many of you and working on projects with a lot of people, shop owners, floral designers, we pride ourselves on working hard. I mean, Lori, we really do. You know, it's like we tell stories of sleepless nights and amazing results. And whether it's a smooth holiday or it's a wedding or event that was drop dead gorgeous, oh, we worked all night and, you know, but you can still achieve those results with not killing yourself. So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today.
Yeah. And as you're talking, and I look at the words work smarter, not harder, it really does align with self-management and time management, because in order to work smarter, that means we have to make some shifts in our brain, and we have to release some things. And that's hard, right? Because we like all of the stuff we already do, or we feel like if we relinquish control of something, something's going to fail. That's how you started your business. That's why the business is prosperous. Right. But now, wherever you are, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line of owning a business, it's time. You have to make some changes, and making those changes doesn't mean you are going to stop growing your business. It's quite the opposite. Relinquish some of those, or delegate those to other people, and you can start growing your business. So working smarter, not harder. The hardest thing about doing that is a shift, a mind shift.
It's about decisions, right? It's about decisions we have to make, conscious decisions, whether we're coming up on a big wedding or something. We don't have to do it all ourselves.
Right.
Let's look what control can you relinquish to make that happen.
Right. And so, you know, like you were saying, every conversation we've had, it seems like since COVID, everyone's just running around like a chicken with their head cut off, right? You're just busy, crazy, and saying, I don't have enough time in the day. And the thing is, we all have the same amount of time in the day. Right? Every one of us have 24 hours, just like our email that went out. You and Beyonce have something in common, same amount of time. What's different is the way we structure our time, the way we self-manage our time. Last night, before I was going to bed, of course, I was scrolling because, you know, it's what we do in the world. And I was reading an article about a guy. He was like I don't know, he works in the corporate world. He's not in this industry. Anyway, he wrote a blog. And he was talking about, he came up from work and he was on the floor playing with his daughter, and she's 4 years old. And she was like, you know, Daddy, pretend that we're this, and just kind of going into that world. So we've all probably been in his situation. And he's playing with her, but he's also trying to follow up on these last few emails so he can be done for the day, just like I'm getting right now as we write. Like I'm getting them, I'm like, oh gosh, I want to go and do this. So he's scrolling and replying, daughter's talking. And in the imaginary world, she says something about what her superpower is. And she's like, Daddy, what is your superpower? And he answers, and he's like, I don't know, honey, just a second. And he keeps finishing. And by the time he finished, which it wasn't like 30 minutes, it was a few minutes later, he looks up and he realized she had already walked away. And it hit him, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And he said he took his phone and he like threw it across the room. And I'm sure a very dramatic fashion, because of course it's the phone's fault, right? And he went and he told his wife, I'm going to turn off all my notifications. I'm not checking my phone. I'm not looking at the computer, blah, blah, blah. We've all done this. I just did it on my vacation, right? And everything's turned back on. Then it hit him, because all that stuff starts coming back, because a lot of it you have to keep going to your business. What he realized is it's not technology's fault. It's his own fault, because he's not constructing his time in the day. It's his fault. It's my fault. It's my fault that you're talking on the webinar and I'm like, oh, maybe I can answer this real quick. And then it's my turn for the slide and I have no idea what you're saying, right? It's my fault. Because I haven't structured this to go, you know what? the hour after this webinar, then I'll do email follow-up. I'll get it done. So that's kind of what we're going to talk to today. The bad news is we've all been there and it's a crappy place to be. And we've all felt it like we're horrible parents or we're horrible spouses or whatever. The good news is we can change.
Yeah. And there's 5 best practices for you to take a look at and say, okay, what is it that is my biggest obstacle? Which is the hardest for me? And maybe it's all of them, or maybe it's just one that's making a really big difference in your day. And we're calling these the 5 Fs.
The 5 F words, but the 5 Fs, because it sounds.
The 5 F words that you can say.
The 5 okay F words to say out loud in public. So the first one, which is a really good one, figure it out. That means clarity. Clarify what you need to spend your time on, right? So many times we have these books like this, and I'm writing down like a new goal, a goal. And what happens is I got 6, 7 new ideas / goals. I've not achieved any of them because I have too many. So narrow down your criteria. Right. What are your goals? And start short. And I'm not talking long-term goals. I'm just even short-term goals. It can be the month, it can be the week, whatever works for you. Narrow it down to 1 or 2 goals that you want to achieve. That's the first thing. That's how you figure it out. The next thing you need to figure out is, when are you at your best? By that, I mean, for example, Vonda and I are morning people. We would take an 8 a.m. meeting over a 4:30 meeting any day. Yep. Because our brains are full of ideas and calories and wonder, right?
Right. That's right. Mm-hmm.
We've tried to do a podcast like at 4:30. It didn't go well. Like, no, we just know we'd rather do it 7 in the morning. So figure out when you're at your best. The other thing, not only timing of the day, what day? We know Mondays can be crazy for shop owners, right? Getting back for a lot of business owners. What day can you eliminate and then start narrowing down? Okay, maybe Wednesdays. I don't know. So find a starting place, figure out your goals, short term, figure out how long that's going to be, and then narrow it down. And then narrow it down again to a day, and then narrow it down to a time, morning or afternoon.
Yeah, that's the key. Plan around your energy level. I think that's it.
Right. I know. Yeah. But plan around your energy level. Maybe it's Mondays. And then at the end of the day, check yourself. That's the other thing. After every one of these, whatever you put down that you're going to do that day, make sure you check yourself, have a little checkpoint, have a little, maybe a reminder, as we're going to talk about later, that you can use on your phone to say, hey, did I achieve what I needed to achieve today?
And then you have to focus, right? It's like, okay, now I have this time. I know I need to get this done. This is the time I set aside to get this done. Now, how can I remove any distractions? And some of this, it says, put on your blinders, but some of it is, I need to go get a project done in my office, and I need to shut the door, and I need to remind the employees that I'm going to be working on something and I really don't want to be disturbed. But I'm going to encourage you to take it one step further. You tell them, okay, I need 1 hour or 30 minutes, whatever it takes for you to get that done. Put a sign on the door, because inevitably somebody's going to go, oh, I forgot. And now you've lost your concentration. You're in the middle of that and you're like, oh, dang it, I have to start over again. So when you're focusing, you want to make sure you set yourself up for success and remove those distractions or anything that's going to keep you from getting it done in that amount of time.
Yeah. The other thing I'm going to add on to that is, and again, I'm saying this from experience, prepare your staff that you are getting ready to have focused time. What you don't want to do is surprise them with and go, hey, I'm going to be in my office for an hour. I'm putting a sign up. Don't talk to me, right? You need to prepare them, because especially if this is not something they're used to, if they are used to running to you for every single answer, if they're not problem solvers yet, you need to prepare them and say, listen, at 10 o'clock today, I'm going to be in my office. I've got some stuff I need to work on. I cannot be interrupted. If you need things from me, you come between now and 9:55 or after 12. So prepare them, or prepare, if you're doing this at home, right? Prepare your family. Hey, I'm going to go work on this.
If somebody calls during that period of time, just take a number. It's okay. Tell them what to do instead of interrupting you.
Right.
Set yourself up for success.
Exactly. Flexibility. Let's all do
it.
All of the little girl. Oh, that feels really good.
Pretty good.
Oh, golly, we need some stress. All right. Everything we've said sounds great in a perfect world, but we understand that in flower shop world, most days aren't perfect. Like, we both just got that same email. They hadn't had wedding or funerals in whatever long, and now they have 6 in one week. And like, that's normal. It's okay to be flexible. It's okay to have to move something from your calendar to the next day. What's not okay is to ignore it completely and not go back to it. So give yourself permission to go in. And that's one thing we love about Google Calendar, which we'll go into later, is you can go in, you edit, you change the date, the time, click save, and it moves it over for you. Right. It's okay if you have to do that, but what's not okay is to just go, well, I had that I was going to the gym today and I couldn't go, so I'm going to just ignore it.
Doesn't do you any good.
No, it really doesn't. I'm trying to see if I had any other notes there. No, that was it. Just be mindful when you do rework your schedule that you're still being mindful of time of day, what days are busy, but just make sure it gets rescheduled.
Right. And using your same scenario as the 9:55, you're like, I'm going to be out of here. If at 9:55, somebody that has lost a person and a funeral family comes in, right, that it's like, oh, okay, well, now I've just moved that to 11 o'clock instead of 10 o'clock. It's right. Okay. You got to give yourself permission. But I think the key is everybody needs to have a deadline, because it's proven that people work best with deadlines, right? That if you get in the habit of having a deadline and achieving that deadline, you will be so excited about what you're doing, and you'll get it done. And that feeling of, okay, I got to stop procrastinating. I have to be accountable. And I am so excited that I actually did this on time. So,
Vonda, I'm going to jump right here because, I have the perfect example with your new images, right?
Right. Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is it. I spent Saturday, not all day, but I blocked off Saturday morning. And then I knew I was going to work on it Sunday afternoon. Oh, somebody has their hand raised. To get all of our new fall flower click designs uploaded to the recipe site for our members. And when I told you guys on Monday, Cammie was like, oh, I hate that you had to do that. I'm like, no, I planned that. And because I knew my emails aren't coming in, my phone's not going to be ringing. I can listen to 70s soft rock music in the background. I loved it. Yeah. Because I scheduled that around what I knew I could do, and I actually completed it.
And how did you feel?
Oh, I was so happy to complete it. And I was also kind of proud of myself because, those are not things that I usually am great at doing, but they're good for me.
Right. They're mindless things that need to get done. And they're so important, but just that feeling of accomplishment. You didn't procrastinate. You were accountable in the sense to the team because
I'm almost scared of Cammie. I don't want Cammie getting mad at me.
Right. And what happens this last one here, work expands to fill the time. It's like, if we just it's okay, we'll do it later, all of those kind of things, it doesn't get done and we keep putting it off. So it's definitely important to be able to to do that.
Yeah, I think one of the examples we used with our members is when we had been talking for months about, oh, we need to create a prep school, a sales prep school. And we had talked about it. And then I will never forget last January, right? Yeah. We were in a director's meeting and I was talking about things I was going to be following up with and you and Ellie were like, no, you're not doing any of that. You have to finish sales prep school. You have to finish. And I'm like, all right. But it took a team.
Oh yeah.
To say, listen, we're right here with you. We're here to help you, but we're removing all of these other things.
Distractions.
These distractions, because other people can do those. They weren't really distractions that only I could take care of, right? They were things that could come wrong. And so when we did that, I realized quickly I'm being held accountable because you also gave me a deadline, or Ellie did. I think Ellie's like, and I think honestly, I think she just made it up at that moment. So because she knew I needed it.
Yeah. Right.
But sometimes that's good because we tend to put things off.
Me too.
That maybe we have a fear of finish. Maybe we don't think of where it's going to be that good, or if we don't, we kind of put those things off. And you need to look around to your staff and your employees and your co-owners and look to them because they're like, no, you can do this. We have faith in you.
Well, and I think that right now, when people are like trying to hire new hires and things like that, it's like you need to focus on that. Also, within the next month or so, you have to have all your specials ready for the holidays. I mean, it's like, here's fall. We flipped the middle of August, you want to have your fall things up, then you got to go into Christmas. So you need to start setting yourself deadlines as a shop owner or a manager. Okay, I need to have this done before this time. I need to have this, and set yourself hard deadlines and work towards those, because you will be so much happier starting to do them now than to go, oh my gosh, I'm behind the curve.
Yeah. Today, I had a conversation with the shop. They're not a Flower Click member. They're a second or third generation owner, which I always love that story, to hear and find out what the name was, like great grandma's name. Anyway, she's getting older and she would like to retire in the next 3 years. And that is one of the feelings. She said she has a sense of overwhelmingness, if that's a real word, because she's so busy micromanaging. She's a self-confessed micromanager, which she knows the problem. And she's like, I need to start focusing on finding someone that can take this legacy. I don't want to just shut down. And it's not, I don't believe she has children there. So we talked about this. I'm like, if you can stop micromanaging, which is easier said than done, you can work on that, but you can't do all things because you're not going to do any of them well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and then the next one is, the last F is take time for you. Just, we always say, take time to smell the roses, take time to reap the benefits of what your hard work and dedication to what you're doing every day.
Right. So I have down on my notes, and I'm just going to read them because I think it really is truth. It says we all know the basic health requirements: get enough sleep, get enough drink, water, eat a balanced diet, exercise. But do you actually do them? I'm speaking for myself. I'm not good at it. I'm not consistent about doing it as well as I could. I got out of the habit, and now it's very, very hard to get back into the habit. The truth is, doing all of those things help you, which all of those kind of self-care things help you do all of these things. If I'm not eating fairly balanced, if I'm not getting enough sleep, chances are I'm going to have a lot worse time attempting to focus than even normal. And I already have a hard time focusing, but I'm just saying all of those things. So we're talking time management versus self-management and or self-care. Self-care is so important, because without it, you can't manage your time. Our brains aren't, they go hand in hand, right? So you have to have balance there. And doing all of those things help you together. We're going to talk, I just want to share the story, and I think we've shared it many, many times, about one of our my employees. Again, we're at the end of the day. My brain does not work. If we need to start having webinars at 8:30 a.m. in the morning, I would be so much better. But Abby, one of our Flower Click members, talks about this and how she got to the point, you know, and she implemented our sales training, even from the sales and the design. And she got her new employees, and she said she was sitting outside of her store because she has some picnic tables. She's got a real cute little setup. She said she was looking in, and she was with her manager. So the two head honchos,
people,
right, were sitting outside, I don't know, drinking their water, whatever. And she said they could look in and they could see the fruits of their labor. I mean, it was hard to get to that point, but she said it was at that moment. She's like, wow, this is what it's about, you know? And now she's like growing she's kind of influencing, she's doing her own design, she's starting this different Instagram account, she's doing her own thing because she's empowered all of her other employees to help keep her business going. And I think that's such a beautiful picture about what almost every flower shop owner would aspire to.
Agree. I totally agree. You know, it's this quote I really like, because time equals your life, right? When we're talking about time management, self-management.
Yeah.
Therefore, if you waste your time, you're wasting your life. It's like, oh my gosh, you know, we say how many times, oh my gosh, time goes so fast. But if you master time, you really do master your life. If you take that self-management and you master that, or you even improve on it, you're getting that time, the valuable time, and you're enjoying it more so. So learn to manage yourself, and you enjoy a fuller, more productive life.
Yeah.
So let's go back through those, figure it out.
Okay, figure it out. Focus. Flexible, but don't just avoid it. It's okay to miss the gym time for that time, but it does need to be rescheduled for later in the day or the next day. So you can't just final deadlines. Deadlines help you achieve success. And when you are successful, you feel better about yourself. Like last weekend, you know, I finished it and I'm like, I did it. I was so proud of myself.
It should be.
I did it. You know, it was a lot of work. I did it, done. I don't have to think about it except I saw on your calendar the word photo shoot. And I'm like, no more.
Oh, here we go.
And then the next is for you.
Yeah, for you. So there are a few tools to help you assist that. And many of these you've already heard about, but we just thought we'd go through those quickly so you could see what those tools that we use that do make a difference. First one you already talked about, Lori, was Google Calendar.
Google Calendar, it's free. It is so simple. Anyone can have it if you have a Gmail account. It's easy to send out and to add people. If you want to invite people, and the great thing is you can literally click on the appointment and move it to the next day if you need to. So super, super easy. It helps you with figuring things out, scheduling, and deadlines.
We'll go through those a little bit more, but then the other one was Trello, which is Trello.com. If you haven't used that before, it really does help you for scheduling, like for your social media or for different projects. It helps you break those down. The weekly planner, sometimes let me just go through it. I think I have little slides on the others. Here's your Google Calendar, like you were mentioning, Lori.
Yep. And you can create different calendars. Like you could have a personal calendar, you could have a bridal consultant calendar, you can have a employee schedule calendar. I mean, you can have as many types of calendars on the one calendar. And what I like is see how they're all the different colors. Those are all different calendars. What color am I, Vonda?
I don't know what color the purple and the orange ones are my personal calendars. And then the rest of you are red on this one.
I'm red?
You're red. You're red.
I'm pink.
Because you're a power color. That's a power color.
I'm a power.
That's it. Well, the good thing about that is it's on your phone too. So if you have a Gmail account and you have it on the calendar on your desktop, you can also have it on your phone, which I think is so necessary these days. And this is just, a hard calendar. Some people, there you go. Mine's right here too. It's like, you just want to write it down. It's the old fashioned, and that's okay too.
The thing about writing it down, and Ellie and I have had this conversation because, she's as techie as she loves all the apps, but she writes down things too. What we have figured out is, again, like I said, if I'm talking to a new person and I'm saying, tell me, it helps me process. It really helps me process. And then I might type in notes later into our system if it's notes that I need to keep, right?
Right.
Some people, they don't need it. My husband, he's the exact same way. He goes through spiral notebooks like you wouldn't believe. They're not as pretty as mine.
No, probably not.
But they're, same thing. Calendly. Calendly, most of our members on here have scheduled on my Calendly link before. I like it because you can do a 15-minute or a 30 or a 60. I typically do the 30-minute one. It links to your Google Calendar, right?
Right.
So, and you actually created a Calendly. Yeah, this is mine. Most people on here, if you've ever gotten an email from us with a link in there, it's probably would take you to this. You can see the July 19th through the 23rd, there's nothing available because I was on vacation.
Right.
So you can't call me. However, I did have some people call me. That's okay. That's all right.
Well, that's a key with the calendar. You can block your calendar then so that people cannot schedule certain times of the day. I think that's what this is. It allows me, this one I was scheduling podcast recordings for our guests, and they could click on that and it would take them to just certain times. Most of them were somewhere between 8 and 10 a.m. because that's the times Lori and I are the best to do our podcast recordings. So that's, allows you to do that. So look into Calendly. There is a free version, again, like the Google Calendar, or there's a paid version. So you can look at both of those.
Right.
This one Ellie uses all the time. It's on your phone. And I think everybody has some type of a reminder app. And truly, you just have to have, set a reminder for me that I have a meeting at 5 p.m. today to talk to Lori. And truly, it will give me that. And it gives me a notice of my reminders. Super easy. And you can speak into it. And then you'll see, put water on my plants. It's a to-do list, or you can just do the reminders. So love that. Just press and hold.
Don't forget this Friday, you're to buy our team lunch. It says it right there.
Okay.
So
all right.
Keep that in mind.
Y'all got to come over then.
Oh, that's true.
And then this one is so cool, isn't it, Lori?
Yeah, it is. And it's been around for a very, very long time, the Pomodoro technique. What's funny is in our last webinar, when we talked about this, I had a couple of people email me and they were like, what was that thing you guys talked about, that tomato thing?
Well, she has the tomato as the sign. So there you go.
Pomodoro. So this is, you pick a task. You got to work on something. You set a timer, whether it's on your phone or a handheld, however you time yourself, set it for 20 minutes, set it for 25 minutes. You work on that. You literally focus on it and nothing else until the timer goes off. When that timer goes off, even if you are at a climax point in writing the article, you stop. You get up, you walk around, you do something for 5 minutes until that comes back, and then you go back. So every 4 Pomodoros take longer and longer breaks. So it works. You can Google it. There's a lot of research out there. It's actually a really fascinating, yet such a simple way to stay mentally fresh.
Love that one. A couple of our favorite resources, Eat That Frog. I think we did a podcast on that one because we like frogs and we like animals. And Managing Oneself. I haven't read this one, but I think this was an Ellie one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's so many, there's also a lot of podcasts out there that can help you with this. My suggestion would be, because I've done this, don't get overwhelmed more when you look for podcasts about this or you look for books. Those kind of bringing in new resources when you're already at your max of overwhelmed is not always a good idea.
Right.
So start with these basics, like start marking stuff on your calendar. Be real mindful of your blocks of time and then see how it goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we always want you to take a look at this one and go, which one is the most challenging for you?
Yeah.
You know, that's the key.
Yeah. Mine, of course, is focus. It's no secret. It's focus. It is focus. And it's because in my day-to-day job, different things are coming at me, all different types of problems that need to be solved or addressed or, things. But also, I wouldn't enjoy a job if I was just sitting down. I think of that old commercial, Time to Make the Donuts, where the guy got up every morning at 5 and he went, or 4, and he went in. That's not in my wheelhouse. So lack of focus actually helps me a lot, but it also can hinder me if I'm not careful.
You just have to have small blocks of focus. So and you've been working really well on that one.
Right.
My biggest challenge is number 5 for you, because I so enjoy figuring out. I like to focus. I like to be flexible, because I am flexible too. You'll call Kimmy, you'll call her, whatever. And that's great. And I work well with deadlines, but it's like, but last week I had a birthday and had family here, and I did a lot of for you time, Lori. So you would have been very proud.
I was proud of you, but you did it because we did some strong prompting.
You did
do it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think most people on here struggle with that for you.
Mm-hmm. I do too. And you got to do it. It really does make you feel better for sure. A couple things: connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram. We do have a YouTube channel. Check us out. We'd love to have you connect. We're a woman-founded, woman-run business. And we really, as we talked about earlier, we do care. We care about your business. We care about how we can help you in many different ways as far as business.
Yep.
So we thank everybody for coming. And you want to tell a little bit about this, Lori, because we're coming on a deadline.
Yeah, we are. And we don't need to talk about it a whole lot because everyone on here, I'm sure, has been getting lots of emails. I giggled because I saw Andy Knowles on here. If you're still on here.
Hey, Andy.
The emails. He's already a member, so he didn't need them. But anyway, we are running a promotion right now. We have bundled our prep school courses. We have sales training, and we have floral design, which is called Flower Prep School Essentials. We put them all together and it makes a really nice onboarding / training, online training system. I've had people email me asking me like, do I come to their shop? And I was like, no, this is all virtual. The other thing about it that's great, and this was Vonda's idea, and I was so happy we did this. You buy it and it's yours forever. I think you call it evergreen, right?
Yeah.
It's yours forever. So if you don't think you're going to use the course in the next month, that's okay. You might use it the following month, or you might use it 10 years from now. We have new stuff we're adding to both Sales Prep School and Flower Prep School. We have some courses that are already done, just need to be put in Prep School because it's a little older than our Sales Prep School. It's fairly new. They're both really robust. And we're really proud of them. We're really happy. And what I love so much is when I have those meetings with people, showing them the best way to execute it or how they can do it. They're like, oh my gosh, this is great. This is so great. Thank you. Thank you. And so it's fun because we love to solve problems.
Yes, we do. We like to help everybody be successful. So thank you everybody for joining us today. We hope you got a few little nuggets on how to manage your time or manage yourself, let's say, so that you can be better prepared for anything that time allows. So Lori, thanks so much. It was great to be here.
Y'all have a good day. Bye.